Hello, dear students. In the previous video, we discussed about the analysis of brass. In that analysis of brass, we discussed about the determination of tin, next determination of lead, next determination of copper. In this video, I wish to discuss about the determination of remaining two constituents. They are, first one is determination of iron and determination of zinc also. Okay, first one is determination of iron. So after determination of all these three constituents, the solution after electrolysis of copper, add 2 to 3 ml of saturated bromine water, so that you know very well bromine is oxidizing agent, so that iron 2 can be oxidized to iron 3. If thiocyanate method is employed, then we need to evaporate the solution to dryness and collect the residue with 4 ml concentrated HCl. After that, make up the solution to 75 ml with distilled water. Okay, what should you do first? You need to take the solution after electrolysis process of copper, then add saturated bromine water 2 to 3 ml. Next, we need to evaporate to dryness. Next, collect the residue with 4 ml concentrated HCl, then make up to the solution with 75 ml of distilled water addition. If a precipitate appears, then filter the solution and wash with 1:100 HCl, then reject the precipitate, that is silica if present. Next, to the solution obtained, then boil to convert all the iron 2 is converted into iron 3 state. Now we need to add concentrated ammonium hydroxide until a permanent precipitate is obtained, then allow it to settle and filter. Then we need to wash the residue with 1:100 ammonium hydroxide for 3 to 4 times. Then this ammonium hydroxide will dissolve in zinc to keep it in solution and allows only iron to precipitate. Then filter the solution, then wash the paper with hot 1:100 HCl solution and then with water. First wash with 1:100 HCl solution, next wash it with water to remove the acid, that is HCl if present. Again reprecipitate the iron using excess of ammonium hydroxide. Then whenever you add ammonium hydroxide to iron 3, then it will be precipitated as ferric hydroxide. Then collect the precipitate in the same filter paper and wash the residue with ammonium hydroxide. Then preserve the combined filtrate for determination of zinc. If filtrate is there, that filtrate is used for the determination of zinc. Then ignite the ferric hydroxide precipitate and weigh as Fe2O3. Then calculate the percentage of iron. So determination of iron is a simple process. What should you do first? You need to take the solution which is obtained after electrolysis process of copper. Okay, then you need to add 2 to 3 ml of bromine water. After that, evaporate to dryness. Then collect the residue and then add 4 ml concentrated HCl and make up the solution with distilled water by 75 ml of distilled water. If precipitate appears, then filter the solution. If any precipitate is obtained, then filter the solution. After that, wash with 1:100 HCl means 1 ml of HCl and 100 ml of water. 1:100 HCl. Then reject the precipitate. Generally that precipitate may be silica. Reject the precipitate. So to this solution, the obtained heat to boiling to convert the entire iron 2 to iron 3. Why? Because after the addition of bromine, the entire iron 2 will be converted into iron 3. After that, what should you do? You need to add ammonium hydroxide solution. This ammonium hydroxide can precipitate iron 3 as ferric hydroxide. Then ignite the ferric hydroxide precipitate. It can produce Fe2O3. So you can calculate the percentage of iron which is present in brass is equal to weight of Fe2O3 into factor, that is 0.6994 into 100 by weight of the brass sample. So this is the process to determine iron which is present in brass sample. Next one is determination of zinc present in brass. So this determination can be done by taking the filtrate after determination of iron. Then to that filtrate add distilled water 250 ml and shake vigorously. Then take 100 ml solution from this, then add methyl red indicator and aqueous ammonia. So we need to prepare 6 gram of ammonium hydrogen phosphate, diammonium hydrogen phosphate in 30 ml water. So this solution is add to above alkaline solution. This is this solution. Then stir well and heat the solution to boil until crystalline zinc ammonium phosphate precipitate is obtained. Then allow the precipitate to settle down. Then heat the solution and color of the solution will become into yellow. The soluble salts which are precipitated along with zinc ammonium phosphate will dissolve in the solution by vigorous shaking, that is agitation, then it will be kept aside for 2 hours. Then filter the precipitate to the crucible. Wash it with 1% solution of ammonium hydrogen phosphate for several times. Then the precipitate is washed with 50% ethanol to remove traces of diammonium hydrogen phosphate. Then dry and ignite the precipitate in a muffle furnace at 1100 degrees Celsius temperature. Then repeat the ignition until constant weights are obtained and weigh as zinc pyrophosphate, that is Zn2P2O7. Then calculate the percentage of zinc. Percentage of zinc is equal to weight of zinc pyrophosphate into factor, that is 0.4290 into 100 by weight of sample. Then what should you do here? What is the conclusion for the determination of zinc? Take the filtrate obtained after the determination of iron, then made it alkaline with ammonia, then add freshly prepared diammonium phosphate solution, then that diammonium hydrogen phosphate will precipitate zinc as zinc ammonium phosphate, then allow the precipitate to settle down, then just dissolve the solution by agitation if any impurity is there, then kept it for 2 hours aside. Then precipitate is washed with 1% solution of diammonium hydrogen phosphate several times. Then dry and ignite the zinc ammonium phosphate precipitate. Then ignite it at high temperature, that is 1100 degrees Celsius temperature. Then you can get zinc pyrophosphate ignited residue. Then percentage of zinc is equal to weight of zinc pyrophosphate into factor 0.4290 into 100 by weight of the sample. Then in ignition process, so this zinc ammonium phosphate will be converted into zinc pyrophosphate. Next alloy is bronze. Generally bronze is an alloy of copper and tin, and other constituents to be analyzed are iron, lead and zinc. This analysis of bronze is same as brass analysis as we discussed earlier, and the composition of bronze is which contains copper, tin as major constituents, and zinc, lead, iron may present or may not present in bronze alloy. Copper percentage is 60 to 95%, tin it is 1 to 35%, zinc it may present or not 0 to 3%, lead it may present or not 0 to 3%, iron it may present or not, it is 0 to 6%. So this is the introduction to bronze, and analysis is same as brass analysis. So same as in brass analysis, bronze can be analyzed firstly determination of tin, after that determination of lead, after that determination of copper, after that determination of iron, and finally determination of zinc. Thank you for your kind attention to this video.